Lights, camera, action. Good morning. Good morning. I love the connecting to audio. Good morning. Good morning, Patrick. Heck, good to see you. Good morning. Okay, so I just got the text. My mom can't join us. Should we postpone? She's worried about the snow. She's got to get some errands done. So we're in a bit of a pickle on Cape Cod. We're in a bit of a pickle. We can't get on virtual breakfast. Anyway, I think that is the most hilarious thing in the whole world, that this woman at 80 is now a part of the Zoom generation and participating. And I know we all are, but you know, the girl crushes it in my eyes. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome. Nice to see you, Susan. Welcome, Kim Hopcraft. It's been a while. Good to see you guys. Welcome to Virtual Breakfast. We all know this is the Industry Insights Career Zoom, and I am Amy Cole. I am an executive. Well, there's a couple of things I guess I should share. I feel like it's, yes, good morning, everyone. I am Amy Cole of Amy Cole Connect, and we are an executive search staffing firm of 20 years. We have done a great many of our business within the wholesale, fashion, e-commerce business for consumer goods, fashion, home, apparel, beauty. And I feel very fortunate that in the past 10 years, I've added a great deal of coaching into my business because, as we all know, this particular curveball hit, and I am now being asked to do more coaching than I am recruiting this very minute. But Amy Cole Connect, New York City, welcome, welcome, welcome. And this virtual breakfast is a wonderful family. We are a group of people that want to empower each other, that love each other very, very much. You have a lot of high, I don't want to say high net worth because that's not important. Net worth makes it sound like monetary. We have a high net worth network of resources on this call. That is the most important way to look at life. We are a resource for each other. We are a support system for each other. It's informational virtual breakfast every week. It's also inspirational. We talk to industry leaders. We are a resource and we are connectors. So anyone that has generally been a part of my community is that type that loves to connect and empower. So I welcome you all, and I ask that you continue to do this for each other, because this is why we're here, and you're all supposed to be here. You know, there are leaders, professionals, there are hiring managers that jump on the call from my client base. Okay. We also have men and women here that are looking to learn about different categories and teach on different categories. It is to empower you. This is for accountability as well. On a Wednesday, what are you up to? Where are you putting yourself, and what types of places are you, interacting in? And those are all important as we navigate the new normal. And the new normal is not an easy normal. We know that. We don't need to harp on that new normal being a challenge. Instead, we need to get excited and embrace it with bells on. So we are definitely stronger together. I love that we are a network. Lisa, my sister and business partner of 20 years since we started, says that this is your personal advocate. It's your advocate board. What do you call it, Lou? Wait, say it again. Wait, say it again.
Advisory board.
Oh yeah, she says this all the time. She's like, hey, well, we have her on virtual breakfast. I'm like, oh yeah, that's our personal advisory board. So it is so much fun to be here with everyone. Thank you again. What happens at virtual breakfast every week is an inspired guest, a man or woman executive in the marketplace right now. The topics change every week, but the change to your career does not. The impact on your career does not. We may talk software, we may talk technology, we may talk design, we may talk spiritual uplift. It is an industry insight on what is going on in the marketplace from different perspectives. I have someone speaking in the medical field in a few weeks, and I'm excited about this. We need to understand what's going around globally, holistically, what is happening in the market and how is it applicable to our careers, our lives, and our sense of purpose in that marketplace. So it's a whole new work-life paradigm out there. We are here to be together through that whole new work-life paradigm, and we are going to, enjoy the journey. It's never going to go back to what it used to be. And it is going to be, they now say, here's some statistics, 40% of the workforce will not return to the office. Now that's today. With this second wave, you never know, that number may increase, but companies, commercial real estate is down. Corporations have decided to let go of leases. We had George Grace, commercial real estate from New York City of 30 years, speak and discuss the challenges right now in the corporate commercial real estate space. Imagine the shift that that has on our economy. In other words, it's not just that you're not going to that office anymore, but these are economic shifts. When real estate was something you would invest in, REITs, right? Real estate mutual funds, because real estate was a type of investment that could never go down. Well, now we're taking a look at the economy and saying, okay, real estate may not be that valuable right now. What is valuable? iCloud real estate. The real estate of iCloud is it, people. Servers in empty spaces and desert lands in Arizona. They are just blocks of servers to house your information, because today we are digital. Today we are doing something in a different way. So when I say pivot or pound the pavement, I mean open up your heart and get excited about what we have out there and what's happening. It's just like horse and buggy went to a car. Sorry, it happened. Did you go back to horse and buggy? No, no. Right? So I think that's goofy and funny and I crack jokes, but really we are watching such a crazy, amazing, we are experiencing, I don't know, it's really crazy cool. I write in my journal, Amy, what are you missing? What are you supposed to be talking about? What are you seeing? What's so crazy for you? Why? You know, what's happening? So anyway, when the market opens up, my goal is that you're ready to be ready. You all know that from the love in my heart that those that jump on and get to know me and those that I don't know, all the faces on here today, but welcome and nice to meet you. It is that we help you be ready to be ready. We are executive recruiters, therefore we want to staff and find jobs for you. The ultimate for me is that I get you at a position that challenges and excites you, that I marry you to a company that is challenging their employees and exciting their employees and excited about their growth. And our industry expert today is exactly that person, continually moving in her career to new excitement levels that actually challenged her enough to go, holy Toledo, but she's now managing all those things. So that's really important. Listen, I want to teach a great deal on what it takes to do those things and to transition that. I can't give you all of that in this 1 hour call, but stay till the end and we will talk about a way that you can learn more. We have a limited time in this hour, so we're going to get to other things, but we will talk a little bit about that later. So if you're questioning where your transferable skills fit in this new digital economy, right? Or if you're not sure if you have clarity, or you need to build that confidence out in what you're offering today, then you are in the right place and you're here to learn and open up and hear what's going to go on. So last week we talked about, are you spending time in rooms that elevate you? Do you remember I mentioned a woman from the corporate agent? And she asked us in a question, and I thought the question was so fabulous. Where are you hanging out? What are you, who are you inspired by what rooms you're in? Are you the big person in the room inspiring, or are you the smaller person in the room being led? Are we running into places that are building our curiosity? So I asked you to take stock of that last week. I asked you to take a look at, are you challenging yourself, putting in your places where everything's so new, you're taking copious notes because you're like, I don't know that. I don't get, oh my gosh, I got to look that word up, right? Look it up. So, and I want you to get out of that comfort zone. That's why I think that was such a great point of view of hers. Like, let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's be in those places that really do move us to those new places and replace with that belief and curiosity. Especially in this season. Look, I've got the green bow on for holidays. It is a place of belief and curiosity that we're in right this very second, Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. This is the moment we're in. So let's do it. Let's enjoy this moment. It is, and believe in that possibility and be curious about what's up for us. And that magic of Christmas, that reindeer crazy Christmas, the dreidel, dreidel, dreidel made out of clay. Right? And it's such an illumination of light. It wasn't just clay. It was the spirit of the light behind it and that spirit of Santa behind all the gifts. And so I want us to believe in a renewed mind. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I just want you to think about new things and be a part of it as we are a fun community building together. So let's talk a little bit about what are people believing for this year. I'd like to hear a couple of people in the chat say, I don't know, Aim, I'm into this, I'm into that. Do you looking to read more? What are you believing for this year? Is it a job? Let's see, technical designer, please note I'm not, Okay, broken keyboard, Marianne Huntington, we got you covered. But what are people believing for this year? Are we believing for the homeless to feel loved and to be better? What are we believing for? What are some of the things you're believing for? I put in the things that I know. I'm believing for more just quiet time. As quiet as COVID has been, I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Of course, in 700 square feet or whatever we live in, I don't know. So nobody has anything in the chat, or can I not read it? Okay. There's no judgment, whatever you're believing in. Mind healthy time, Coach Gibbs. Yep. Best gift, mind healthy. Yep. Great health and peace. Gathering. Absolutely. I love it. Yep. Is there something that you want to do for yourself? Family. I know, Susan. I love that. Cindy Ray, great health and peace. Absolutely. You know, I want to also mindfulness and presence. Yes. Yes. Get back to better balance in life. Absolutely. Thank you guys for jumping in. Yep. 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 I also want to believe in what I'm evolving into. Lisa Plant, meditation, worry less. Oh, I love this. The timing of things is never wrong. Yes, Kim Hopcraft. That's right. I am believing in watching myself evolve. Time to create, feeding the hungry. Yes. Like that, Kim. Yes. I just want to share believing in who we are all becoming, because the only thing constant is change. So where are we headed? You know, and I think that every single person that gets on this call, and I don't know how many people are on here today, but welcome. You know, every one of you is a gift. You guys are a gift. Everyone is meant to be here. You were meant to be here. You took action and you decided to be here. I believe in that. That is my faith. Okay. I believe that where I need to be is where I need to be. I know that who shows up is needed to be here. I know you need to connect with someone on this call. And guys, today we are going to have a breakout session to tell each other happy, happy, happy holidays. So please stick with that and say hello to everybody when we have that chance. So, you know, I love surprises. Let me just go to this for 2 seconds about Hanukkah and holiday Christmas. I love to wrap. I'm a cuckoo bird. Like, I could wrap a stone and make it look fabulous. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy silly. I won't tell you all of. I learned it. I worked at a wrapping organization at Boston's Faneuil Hall in college and wrapped all these crazy gifts with all these beautiful, perfect wrap. You know, the wedding wrap and all that jazz. It's the beautiful packaging that gets me excited, and the intent of giving. It's not even what's in the box. It's not what's in the box. It's this effervescent, I want to share this with you. And meanwhile, my poor cute husband has gotten a candle every day for Hanukkah because I want candles in the apartment. So I'm making it his Hanukkah gift, and I'm calling it our personal festival of lights. And it brings me joy in every package. He goes, this box looks great today, Amy. I'm like, thank you. But I spent hours. It gave me a chance to enjoy the creativity that God gave me and put it into that little box. And we are the same as those gifts, guys. You know, you are a gift, and you are inspired to be something. You are a creation. You're drop dead gorgeous inside and out. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, today at 10:15. Right now, it's meant to be. You're out of a job for a reason. So that you can evolve, so you can believe in your new things, right? It isn't as though it was a chosen thing that we're all through this pandemic, but what we get to do with it and evolve as human beings is a gift. And you're not a day late or a day early. Okay. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you're made for that purpose. So I get excited. Why? Because I have to share this with myself all the time also, and remind myself, knowing that in my heart of hearts, I am doing the right thing and moving forward. So as we unwrap our journeys, okay, as we look back, and I'm sharing a lot of this because this is a little reflective for me today. I don't see you guys again until January 6th, I don't think. We're not on for Christmas, and I take the Christmas week through New Year's off. So I want us to be excited and know in your heart of hearts that all is working out for that higher purpose. And as we listen to education on the marketplace, because the marketplace and our finances tend to bring us a great sense of stress. But if we open ourselves up and believe and have that sense of curiosity, right? It'll keep us in the staying power. Staying power is critical. Staying power is critical. It's easy to start, but it's hard to stay. You know that feeling, the difference? It's great to start stuff, but how do you go through do another set of dishes with your kids, go through another Zoom call with your kids. But that staying power gets them to graduation. You can start the rigmarole, but you got to stay and stick with it, right? And this road's definitely been crooked, let's face it. But we have an appointment. All of us have an appointment. And so therefore, I don't want us to get disappointed in the timing and disappointed that this girl didn't get back to us, or this disappointed that this didn't work out, or maybe just disappointed in ourselves, right? We have that appointment, and there is a new job and a new client and a new opportunity coming. So let's celebrate in knowing that. Let's stay with it, right? As we unwrap our gift, your gift, know it was inspired. Just like I wrap those little crazy candles, and they're inspired by the love I have for the celebration of Christmas and the celebration of Hanukkah. I'm honoring the gravity of this gorgeous time of year and remembering how beautiful it is and important to just relish in every gift, every single gift. So I get excited about those things. You know how I feel. That's where I am as a person. That's my purpose in life, is to feel that joy and to spread that joy. So as we unwrap this time, think about your curiosity and belief. Okay. You know, you are a gift and a blessing, and you're made for a purpose. Keep the course. You have an appointment. So we're with this. We're going to be here. We're going to be back again in January, and all will be revealed. All will be revealed. So what happens during Virtual Breakfast Industry Insights Career Zoom? Long name, huh? Every week we talk about the 5 Ps of your professional edge. This is professional development that is critical to you understanding where you fit in the new way and where we are all going. Your purpose, your brand, your profile, your professional profile, your partnerships, partnering here, and your positioning, where you're putting those things out. Those are the 5 Ps that give you a strategic edge in a professional sense. You're going to hear today how networking had changed the course of careers, and how it's changed all of us, how we're in this group, we are changing things because we're networking. So that's really critical and important. And so those 5 Ps, you know how I get, we'll talk about them later again, but that's where I believe once we package ourselves and have that professional edge and have that professional, those 5 Ps that make up, they're all building blocks, help us articulate our value and our worth, and give us the staying power and confidence to move forward and see what's out there. All right. Last week we had amazing Mary McFadden, the vice president of CAD from Gerber. Incredible woman who was a pattern maker, physically doing flat patterns, and now is with one of the most technologically advanced companies ever called Gerber. They actually do technology and product development and workflow plan, not only for apparel, but for furniture. And all different spaces. I really enjoyed hearing her. She is offering a free training Saturday, the 19th. Lisa, throw that in the chat. For those people that want to learn more about Gerber training or be trained on the software, it is complimentary because of her relationship with us last week. So Saturday, the 19th, Lisa's going to put it in the chat to everyone, and you're just going to email her. This week, more education on what's going on technologically in manufacturing. A great many of us come from the wholesale industry. So what is going on in manufacturing? Well, e-commerce, right? The digital economy. Employment, e-commerce, and the digital economy is what we need to be aware of right now and how it affects us. So I'm going to also talk a little bit about different software programs, you know, what these different programs are. So before I invite Trisha to say hello, I want to just give you 2 little nuggets about 2 topics that are going to come up today. Number 1, what is e-commerce? Everyone immediately thinks Amazon.com. E-commerce, and I looked it up, is a process of buying and selling of products or services, making money transfers and transferring data over an electronic medium, the internet, right? And it allows people to do business, which is why it's been so revolutionary, to do business without the constraint of distance or time. Is that not the truth? Prime, I want it in a day, right? There are 2 kinds of e-commerce: business to business. I am a business recruiting, selling my services to a business. I am using e-commerce which is an exchange of information, right? To get them to know me. So I use it for marketing, in fairness, but that's a transfer of information. And then there's business to consumer. A business made something and they want the consumer. It all is the same medium. I hope that's not so obvious that I'm being silly, but if you really break it down, e-commerce is the process of buying and selling products or services, making transfers and transferring data over the internet. Okay, e-com now is everything. It's how you communicate with your school about your daughter being late and she needs a gym pass. It is the technology of it. Forbes says that e-commerce is going to amounted to 3.5 trillion in 2019. They can't give you a 2020 yet because it's not over. 3.5 trillion in 2019. 3 years later, they project, and this projection probably doesn't even include the seismic shift we have from COVID, will be 6.5 trillion. This is only in the US by 2022. 2022. All right. Now, for all of these e-commerce, it takes software as a service to communicate amongst the different channels. That is called SaaS, SaaS, software as a service. This is a place where Amy Cole Connect is staffing now, because my companies, manufacturers that design a product, need software as a service for logistics and supply chain to get it from China to LA to their distro center to Target. So this isn't far out of our realm, guys. It's not, JavaScript and SQL and things you don't want to hear about anymore. It is the basics. E-commerce and software as a service is what's the integrated fabric of our new economy, the digital economy. All right. And when the software as a service, licensing and delivery model in which software is licensed on a subscription. So, you have a subscription to all your softwares and it's centrally hosted. Remember I said real estate now is the cloud. It is sometimes referred to as on-demand software. Okay, enough of that. Not that I'm the guru, but I did my homework, I hope. I'm going to invite Trisha to please speak. Trisha Sweeney, fabulous, wonderful personality. I love her Boston accent, even though it's not Boston per se. She's in Rhode Island, right, Trisha? You're in Rhode Island?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. You might want to up your volume just a tad.
Okay.
So Trisha is the executive vice president of sales for a company called Syndicate. And it is first of all, the road that this woman has taken is fascinating, from Jordan Marsh and retail executive training program buying into omni-channel, right? As a real pioneer in the .com, the shoebuy.com, and now software as a service for a startup company. So Trisha, first of all, I'd love you to introduce yourself. Thank you so much for jumping on. You guys, I've thought a lot about your journey, and there's a piece of it that's straight, and then there's a piece of it that's so crooked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But so, tell us, first of all, give us your name, your title, and your industry, if you would.
Yes. Trisha Sweeney. Hello, everyone. I want to apologize about my heavy bronzer. I haven't worn makeup in so long. I felt like I was playing with a Barbie doll this morning. So I apologize.
You look great. No.
I did put earrings on for the first time, so that's good. But I do have sweatpants on as well.
Okay. True confessions. That's it. True confessions.
I am currently the executive vice president of sales for Syndicate, which is a SaaS, service as a software. Previous to that, I was the EVP and chief merchant at shoes.com, which was formerly shoebuy.com. But again, I started my career. I actually went to college and studied what I actually did, which is very boring. And I started at Jordan Marsh. I went into a training program. My next step was I went to work for Hills Department Store, which was a mass merchant, which is like your Targets, your Walmarts of the world. The day I walked in, I thought, this merchandise is so gross, I'm going to last 6 months. And I lasted 11 years until they closed our doors. Then I learned the off-price business. I went to work for Value City, which is part of same owner as DSW, and also they owned Filene's Basement at one time. Then I moved on to TJX, home goods, off-price again, and product development. And then I jumped to the wild side in 2005 and decided to learn the internet,
Right.
now known as e-commerce. And I was at ShoeBuy, which morphed into shoes.com for 13 years before I decided that this old lady needed a nice break. So I took some time off, which actually was no time off because I ended up consulting for a couple of people during that time. And one of them was Syndicate, in which I went to work full time this past spring.
So what do you think? I mean, so, you know, from a retail buyer, which is Excel charts all day long, and then I know you had a few different categories within there, but then you ended up in the .com. What was that? What was the big difference? Like, what was a real learning curve? What, you know, what many people on here are in the wholesale world, which has to now take it to the e-com world. So what was your transition like? What did you need to do in a professional way?
I mean, when I made the jump over to ShoeBuy, I did not shop online. I actually hated the computer. I really was not that normal person. And they said to me, hey, how, you've never even done footwear, you've never even done e-com, you know, meaning managing, buying, merchandising. Like, why do you think you can do it? And I just think it's kind of the same tools, right? You just have to pivot slightly into another way. Like, instead of working with product, instead of, you know, doing an advertising, you know, a paper ad, you're actually doing everything online. So the hard part was learning all of the terminology,
Okay.
right? Some of the processes. And I was lucky, I was a startup. There were only 40 of us there. I was the person from the outside that didn't know anything about technology. And so I hid behind that mask, but really you slowly learn it inadvertently, right? Each day you're hearing the same words. You're in meetings with technology people. You have no idea what they're talking about. But fast forward 8 months later, you kind of know. You're like, oh, EDI, you know, and then you start, you know, I can remember saying to my boss at the time, hey, when you're with brands, potential brands, just slow it down when you're explaining sort of the technical process. Like, you're in it all day long. People don't, you need to say it slowly in layman's terms. Anyways, years later, I would go and walk out of a meeting and say, oh, I just talked too fast. They have no idea what I meant. So I just, over time, you're in it sort of, and you just naturally learn it. And it's just the same tools, but pivoted into different terminology, really.
Well, that is a fabulous nugget right there. We could close up shop. I mean, Carlos, the vice president of sales from Bombo, said something very similarly, which was he surrounded himself with men and women that knew that category so that he could then absorb like a sponge.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I want to compliment everybody on the call. These are very educated, seasoned professionals that understand and need to absorb. But what happens is, and I want to ask this question because it's coming up in the chat also, you know, we're not getting the chances to even be in the room. So how did you get that position? Let's go to the ShoeBuy position first. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, a couple of things about when I've made changes out of one place and going to another. And quite honestly, I mean, a lot of the changes were prompted by changes based in the company I worked in, right? I mean, when I worked at Hills, Ames bought us, so the company went away. So I was forced to change.
Okay.
You know, when I worked at Valley City, we had a satellite office in Massachusetts. The new manager didn't want people in Massachusetts when the corporate office was in Ohio. I'm a non-mover, so I didn't want to move. So I had to pivot. You know, but a lot of it too comes from naturally when I felt like I needed a change. So in other words, when I felt like there were all these new things going on and I wasn't learning, like, and it would just mull up over time. It wasn't immediate, right? It would be months and months of me like thinking about, should I be learning this? Should I be learning this? And then when opportunity knocked, I was mentally there. Like, I knew I mentally needed a change. And by the way, the change could be that I was getting stagnant and bored at what I was doing. Or the change could have been I put pressure on myself to not be stagnant and not get stuck in something that wasn't evolving.
Yeah.
So I think slowly, none of it was dramatic. I slowly, you know, before I left Home Goods and moved to ShoeBuy, I didn't say to myself, I want to go to ecom. I hated ecom. Like, I didn't even know what it was. So, but I did say to myself, I know I don't want to be a buyer for the rest of my career.
Yep.
Know that going to the next level at this particular company I don't really think it's for me. It's nothing. So I knew that long term, I had to make a change.
Mhm.
And then I just happened to meet with them because a friend of a friend said, "Oh, my friend's a merchant. They needed a merchant. They were out to dinner." I met with them. It was a huge drag to me to like get on the T and go have, meet people. But I left the office. I was blown away. And I can remember walking outside, just starstruck, saying, "I can't believe I'm about to leave a large company that is one of the best companies in the world to go work for a startup."
Yeah, nobody leaves TJX.
Nobody,
Nobody. You're crazy.
nobody
So,
leaves.
so in fairness, first of all, you touched on, you're hired, you're bottled up. You talked about belief and curiosity, which I talked about this morning. It is, if we're not curious and believing, then no one can do anything for us. Number one.
Yep.
Number two is you just said you accepted the appointment. You said yes. This was a networking situation, basically, in fairness, right? A network.
Favor to a friend, even.
Oh, you were oh yeah, you didn't want to go.
No, I kept blowing it off. I was like, I got to go to China. And finally I just went because I couldn't let my friend down. And it actually ended up opening a whole new world for me.
Good for you. That is incredible. All right. So tell us, if you don't mind, Syndicate, tell us about the company. On your website, it says you're the first business process management. I'm going to tell you, because these virtual breakfasts make me go deeper and learn, I'm not perfect, but I try. Basically, a business process management is like a PLM system, right? You take A to Z.
Yeah, it's really, by the way, don't confuse it with your heart's beat per minute.
Okay. We won't.
But it's basically used, it's exactly what it says. It's taking a business process, right, that maybe has gone awry, right, as a result of market changes. There's all these procedures and processes that jump up unexpected, and the workflows behind them sometimes are extremely chaotic. And
Yes.
so this is taking a process and it's improving the efficiency within a workflow of any given business process, right? It's simplifying a process that's gone awry. If you simplify words.
Which is the hugest thing. And I'm going to tell this, you weren't, I think you were on last week. Guess
Yeah.
what? Reid Kaufman, guys, the founder of LinkedIn, I'll be quick because I did say this last week, said that he's putting his money on, he's the founder of LinkedIn. He's not Jeff Weiner. You don't see him on LinkedIn anymore. He's the founder. He said that he's putting his money on businesses that advance processes, that make more efficient business processes. So as we all see, SaaS, software as a service, which is helping people communicate more efficiently, which is what Syndicate does, and I want to ask more about that, is that's where he's putting his money, on the companies that are growing. So Tricia, you are on the pulse. What does Syndicate, that your software, do?
Yes. So basically, and again, it's like a data management software, right? Which is basically it takes data and it converts that data into a single storage container, if you will, or it's a one dashboard. And basically what it does is all of these SaaS things and all of these automated things, they come from, again, a process that was so automated. And when it was small, it was okay to be automated. But as things grow in digital, it's not sustainable. It's extremely error prone. You're missing information, you're missing dates. So in the retail e-com space, what is a manual business is, if you're let me just say Keen, and you have 20 trading partners, right? DSW, Zappos, Shoes.com, Walmart, whomever. Someone at Keen has to fill out a template. These templates have all the product information. There's also a whole other thing for the images that have different requirements.
Okay.
Some of these templates are 60 to 200 columns long. And then when you get into footwear and apparel, all the UPCs, some of these are 30,000 lines when you're updating a season, your spring season. So all of that is manual. They have to take the Keen data and put it into these templates and then deliver it or send it to all of their trading partners. And it's all kind of the same information, but every trading partner has a different template. So some salespeople, they're not selling. They're like behind their desk and trying to figure out how to do a pivot table, right? Sometimes it's the customer service person that was supposed to be doing something else, but now she's doing the templates. So we basically have automated all of that. So what happens is Keen, they drag their product, they drag their images into the Syndicate application. what we do is we upload and we validate everything, right? We look for missing information. We look for bad SEO descriptions. So it's rapid data consumption. We validate the data, right? We let them know, hey, you're missing a color code. Hey, you don't have enough images for this. Your SEO description,
Okay,
has a typo,
okay.
all that stuff. And then it's in one place, it's perfect. And then they can curate by each trading partner, right? DSW gets this, Zappos gets this, and then it syndicates it fast.
Okay.
So instead of somebody taking 4 days to fill out the Zappos template, uploading it into Syndicate is taking about 1 minute.
Or, okay, so do it once, and then for DSW.com and Nordstrom's.com, Macy's.com, Target.com, press once, and then they all those fields get filled in on their .com platform.
Yeah, so Syndicate has about 50 templates, if you
Okay.
will, connections. And so the brand using Syndicate, they basically, click, okay, hey, these 50 items, we want to go to Zappos. So they click Zappos, they click the items they want, and they hit a button and it uploads into Zappos
Zappos.
template.
Okay,
And then they send it the way they normally would, which is, I don't know, some people may email it, Zappos might have a particular area. So for brands, it's automating, sending out to their partners. For retailers, you could have a retailer that's got 100 brands. You're ingesting 100 different templates that are all inaccurate, missing information. Maybe it's in a different format. So as a retailer, the templates are ingesting and they're validating it and spitting out any of the errors. So it works both ways.
okay, and with everybody having to be so critically quick today,
Yes,
so really you're selling this service as an efficiency.
100% efficiency. And basically it's an ROI play too, because basically a lot of these people, their products, because the process is so manual, oftentimes your product does not go live on the start date when it's available,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's lost sales. And then
Yeah.
if it doesn't go live for a month later, I don't know, you could be in a closeout position, right? So
Yep, okay.
you're not starting great. You're also a lot of missing information. The styles might never go live. We worked with a brand that their largest retailer didn't have their top 10 styles live for 2 months.
Yeah, got it. And they don't even know that really.
You don't even know, because you got to follow the breadcrumbs to find out. There's nothing that serves it up to you that says these aren't live because you had a bad color code. Nothing. You just find out because your sales go down and then somebody manually has to go checking. Like it's
Got
a,
It's okay. No, I'm listening, and I'm going to tell you, I'm feeling some of the pain that you're talking about because it's so difficult to even get people on the phone today.
yes.
And it's been a great many years in apparel, and everyone sitting on this call knows this, where you've got to work in Kohl's portal or you've got to work in Target's portal to have that sample approved. And if it's not in there correctly, then you're not moving forward.
Mhm.
So what do you see, and this is a bit of a philosophical, but what would you see are the most opportunities for wholesalers right now?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously digital is on fire,
Yeah.
right? I mean, even that, the whole thing, I think there was a quote from you talked about how the increase was happening.
Yeah.
And I think Doug McMillon, the CEO of Walmart, he even came out and said, like, because of this pandemic, what was projected for next year, we're 2 to 3 years ahead. Like it just went from, hey, we're going to increase to like catapulted. So obviously the digital arena, and brands and retailers, they're growing their own teams within. So years ago, you might not have had an e-commerce division. You might have just dumped it on somebody. It might have been your regular salesperson that you dumped. Hey, you want to do this e-com account?
Yeah, totally.
And so now it's kind of blocked. They're becoming separate divisions with their own, with their own goals and their own, requirements for the year. So that's kind of happening. And it's not 100% all over the place, but I've watched it shift over the last couple of years. And now, they have no choice. They've got digital people. There's a whole host of like
engineers and backend and full stack and UI, UX.
Oh God, content management, which is like so boring to me, I could cry, but some people love it. Like, just managing your content and how to get, your descriptions correct. SEO, another personally boring thing to me, but fascinating if you love it, like all the optimization on that. it is tough because if you're in a place right now where you were, the top salesman for men's suits, you are kind of bummed out right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
But, if you're a great salesperson for men's suits, you're going to be a great salesperson no matter what you sell.
yes,
You just
agreed.
have to go back to what your initial tools
Yes.
are and
Yeah.
how you can pivot. And by the way, it might be daunting, but you actually might have fun. I mean, I'm learning. I feel dumb as a doornail a lot of days on some of these calls that I have on the technology. Like I have to like Google what they're saying to figure out like what's an API. I'm like Googling, and then I find the right person that can talk in my language.
Yeah.
He's like, the API is like if you take a baseball mitt and you're throwing a ball, you open it up so you can like. So I'm like that. I get it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I'm Googling constantly, which makes actually life a little bit exciting. So you did say to me on the phone when we talked about you saying, getting on, and thank you so much for your spirit and all of this good info. But, I asked you what you felt the critical, or I should say, what has helped you lead to your success personally and professional? What would you think it is? Is it stick to itness? Is it like Mary McFadden the other day just said, she didn't say, oh, she said, don't give up.
Yep.
You're a big networker, or you said so much of my life is just kind of networked.
Yeah. I mean, if I would just say like, hey, what is my like skill or what I feel like are critical things? I think always having a goal, which seems like, okay, Trish, whatever. But I just remember being in my 20s, happy hour with my girlfriends. One of them was a financial planner. She's like, let's sit around and let's talk about what our goals are for next year. And I was like, goals? So she's like, you should always have a goal. So after that, I always had a goal. But here's the difference between like, they were always long-term goals, right? Nothing was like, oh, I got to do this in 6 months. Everything was like a long-term goal. It was very vague. I want to be a buyer someday. Okay. Like I want to be a vice president. I want to get to this milestone financially, right? By the way, another goal was when I hit 50, I want to dial it back. That was a goal. So that was a goal when I was in my 30s. So that's how far out it is. And I think when they're further out, you're not so anxious about it, right? You've got time and you've got patience.
Yeah.
to
Staying
wait.
power, the staying power that I mentioned.
I
Stay
just,
the course.
patience
Yeah.
and timing. You have patience to wait for the right timing for yourself.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and then just other things, obviously have a goal, adapt and embrace change.
Yep.
Every time, like one thing is certain, right? There's always going to be change in business. Sometimes you can predict it and sometimes you have absolutely no idea, right?
That's right. Mhm.
So, look at it as what are those opportunities? I have always forged ahead in some sort of a change within the company. And you just think about it differently. Like what are the open loopholes that I can hit when this change happens, right? It's almost like looking down the field and seeing like, who do I throw it to or which area do I go, right? But it all ties back to having a goal really and just sticking with that goal and a simple goal. I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, right? I mean, you should
Yeah.
always have 3 big rocks or whatever, but and the goal isn't, hey, by January, I want a $5,000 raise. Like that's a short time goal that just that's just noise, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep, well, thank you so much for sharing. If you can stay on and say hi, we're going to say hi to a few people to wish everyone a happy
Right.
Mary, but thank you so much. I'm going to platform on a couple of things that you said. Well, just so quickly did it come and comfortably for Trisha to, to look for the loopholes and that's what we're up to, guys. We are all intelligent. What are the loopholes? I've got to find out what are the loopholes in recruiting, right? Where can I be of a bigger help now that everyone's got software that they can throw a job on LinkedIn and get 548 resumes? So it's back to feeling that I could do this for them and make it more efficient for them. So what is it that's their biggest challenge, right? And I think that's kind of a great place to as we all know our own industries and our own businesses, where are there holes right now that are challenges for everybody? And what would be exciting for you to figure out or to be a part of helping out in that challenge? Okay. Now, I'm going to invite you. Thank you for hanging out. Bye, Steve. Happy Hanukkah. Happy love you. Everything right now is about understanding our value. Okay. As we do work with this marketplace. It's okay, as Trisha said, that you don't know everything. And that's, I want you to be in the rooms where you don't know everything so that you're always learning. But although you may not know that category or that new technology, you do need to understand the value that you bring to your organization. And what's happened for me this past week is, I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. And everybody has, I have an actual, which is exciting for me, but I'm booked on all of, in January. Oh my goodness. Hold on. What happened to my stuff? Please hold. Anyway, what's going on for me is that a lot of people are finally saying, AIM, I need to understand where I am going to end up here. Okay. So I want to go into the coaching for a minute and talk to you. We either do quick one-on-ones that are very fast and furious, maybe update your resume, maybe talk about digital interviewing, or come up with exactly how you should articulate your skill set. We have Job Search University, which you know is every other week, and we've got some people on Job Search University on the call. It is a wonderful place to have a library and have a resource for you. But right now I want to get into this premium coaching, and I want you to learn more about this. It's called Professional Edge Intensive. And this is where, if you are trying to figure out where you want to make that long overdue career pivot, we need clarity, guys. It takes courage, clarity, and confidence. I'm going to stick to those 3 C's, and I'm going to put those somewhere on my website, because right now it's the courage to take the chance and understand where you fit. We are looking at a $6.5 trillion industry around the corner in 2022. That's 12 months, guys. Look how quickly 10 months of COVID has gone. In 12 months, and that number Forbes and Trisha just mentioned is probably dwarfed because of COVID. It probably is much bigger than that number. Okay. So in 12 months, we want to understand how we fit into this category that's explosive, that's already exploding. And now is that time to figure that out. So this is a place where this will help you open yourself up to new possibilities. Okay. And it is one-on-one. It is a 4-week commitment where we work together and we talk about every single piece of your career journey. What is value? What is relevant today? How do we brand it? How do we package it so that your core competencies make you an expert in what you do, maybe not in that industry? Feel the difference? Like Trisha said, she understood merchandising and Excel charts for a buying perspective, but she just had to then decide, how does this work analytically when it comes to software as a service? She's now helping people a return on their investment because it is an efficient program. And she can share how she made efficiencies in her buying the right product so that it moved. Right? So it's what are her core competencies that made her accessible to these conversations anyway? There's a lot of carryover. So packaging your core competencies, creating a professional profile that sets you apart, that adds your brand. Don't forget the 5 Ps, your purpose and your brand. When you speak and you come on Wednesday and you hear me speak, it's because I love what I do every day. There's a type of infectiousness, a contagiousness that I get. You are the gift to me. And I'm hoping that I'm sharing what I am to be doing, which is pouring into you. That's where. So what is your secret sauce? What's that brand for you that elevates you from another recruiter, from another designer, from another technical designer, from another logistics and supply chain person, and to help you present the tactics to get you in front of all your targets? Okay. So I bring it up because my January is already booked and I'm realizing how many people are saying, okay, 2021 is my year. So if this is of interest to you guys, hit the coaching page, go to the Professional Edge Intensive, and let's get on the phone and talk about if this is for you. Okay, I see our time is running. Oh my gosh, it's 5:10 of. All right, so kids, listen, I want to do a breakout so that everyone can wish each other a happy, 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 happy Christmas. We've all shown up on Wednesdays. You're amazing. I see all these faces. I'm going to do a quick breakout. I'm going to, we're going to make it into not too many rooms. Okay, all right. And share some love, say hello. What do you want to get out of this? And join the room when it asks you to join the room.
Hi, Kelsey and Felicia and Kim.
Hello.
And there Joe.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Barry, should we mute until we speak?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Join in.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. That's right. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yes. I'll just join in. I'll say these sessions are wonderful. Today is only my second time joining,
Uh-huh.
but very inspirational.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
How did you find the call?
I belong to a networking group of women on Mondays. We're alumni of LHH. And so one of the women on that call recommended this. She participates in this. So
Oh, good.
that's
Oh,
how,
good, good. The word is spreading.
yes, yes.
So let's hear some plans. Anyone have any, interesting plans besides staying home alone? For the holidays?
We're not
or-
allowed to admit it if we have plans.
Or maybe you have a project, or I think
Amazing.
maybe you'll be shoveling snow tonight.
I'm taking a digital marketing class, certification class.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I realized the digital world is just exploding, so I
Mhm.
wanted to be able to add it to my
How
resume.
far into it are you?
Oh, very early
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I'm like 3 sessions in. It's gonna take me a few months.
Yeah, that's really terrific. Amy and I have been doing a lot of marketing and research in marketing, and as Trish was just saying, looking up information in words, and it really is. It can be a little overwhelming, but it's also fun. Also, I mean, we're looking at companies. We're looking at some of the jobs that are consistency in a different company, and we're finding like full stack engineer. What on earth is a full stack engineer? And then you do look it up, and there's a lot of different versions of what that job actually is. And I guess it's the same thing in digital marketing.
Oh, there's so many areas of it. I picked one, the one that I picked is more of social media,
Mhm.
digital marketing, and it's being offered through Facebook.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We're in good company there.
And it's fairly inexpensive. If anyone's interested, if you go online and look up through Coursera, I'm sure everybody knows about it's COURSERA.
Yeah, that's
That's
the.
where I found it.
I think I put that link in. That was.
I was
New York
going to
State, right?
thank you, Barry. I was going to thank you for that because that's
Yeah.
very cool. There's so
Yeah,
much.
there's so much
offered.
on there. I need to do
Yeah.
that as well. I want to do something with apps, some courses with apps, and also the digital marketing.
It's
That's-
endless. So if you're unemployed, you should take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about Kelsey?
Hi,
Are you new to the call? You don't look familiar.
I'm here with my cat today, so she
Oh.
says hi.
Aw.
I had 2 great cats just like that.
No way,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in a few weeks, but I was pretty consistent
Oh, okay.
throughout the fall, so I'm
Well,
really
welcome back.
glad to come back on today.
Yeah, welcome
It
back.
was just what I needed. I always love how positive Amy is and just reminding us of our value, and
Uh-huh.
even in the midst of a crazy year, it's so good to
Yeah.
hear that yes, we are a gift. You are you are important, and
It is important to keep that at top of mind. Sometimes it's hard to get a little injection
yeah,
and hear that
definitely.
really does help. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. What are you working, or what's happening in your world, or?
Yeah, it's been crazy. So I was working at Saks Fifth Avenue in e-commerce. So it's cool to hear about e-commerce this morning.
Right.
But I was furloughed and then ended up leaving the company in August. And I've been pursuing employment in fashion design as I graduated in 2019. So
Uh-huh.
still pretty young in my career, but recently I've been back home in Texas. I love New York City, but
Uh-huh.
financially it wasn't working out for me right now. So I started a greeting card company
Oh,
this
fantastic.
past few months. So that's why I had to take a break from all the calls, but it's been really fun.
We need more greeting cards, I'll tell you. It's the cards out there are just so awful. They're so-
I
they're so
agree.
bad.
I can show y'all one of them. This is one of the prints that I did.
Well,
And
let's
it's
see.
just really fashion girly. Hello, friend, and So my website is Lynn Artsy. My last name is Lynn Arts. So it's
Oh,
kind of
okay,
fun.
we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
terrific.
just really glad to meet y'all. And
You too.
Same
I
here.
know
Well, I guess it's time to leave. Anna, nice to meet you. I don't think I've met
Nice to
you
meet
before.
you.
Welcome to the
happy
call.
holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks. Happy holidays.
Take care.
Hey, thank you, Miss Cindy Ray Pop. Gotta love the Cindy Ray Pops. Guys, I want to unmute everybody in a minute and have us all wish ourselves, I get teary for a minute, but I don't know, we've been doing this since March 25th, and every time is a new, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience. And, you know, may we continue to support each other and love on each other, and, you know, keep it all straight for sure. And so as we all pop back in, I'm going to unmute everybody in 1 second. But guys, listen, we're going to close on the love we have for each other. And let's continue to lead with that curiosity. And I don't know why I get so emotional, but, you know, keep believing, and you knowing that you're the gift, and that we're all a gift for each other, because it's exactly what we have, and it's what we need to know and we need to live in. You have such a great appointment. I know that for me. I know that for you. Keep the course, stay the strong. And wow, what a treat and what a great thing. And you know, if there's anyone, I guess I should actually challenge everybody for 2 seconds. I put the blue light glasses on because Tricia Sweeney said, be careful with all the blue screen and all the crazy computer stuff. But anyway, guys, we are called to lift each other. First of all, first and foremost, we know this. But if there's somebody, okay, that's living alone, and it's now 10 months and they're living alone, I have dear, 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 wonderful friends that are motivated, going places, leaders of their pack, but they still are, it's isolating. So let's just call on each other to call each other, you know, call each other, and remind them to have the confidence and the curiosity to believe and keep going. If there's one thing we can do for each other, I think that would be maybe it's your aunt who's 85, who says everything's great, but kind of nobody really calls her that often. You know, you just never know. You never know when you pick up that phone, and pick up the phone. Oh my gosh. That's why I get teary when I see everybody, because it's just so fabulous. This is what the human connection is. So I'm putting everybody off of mute. Lisa Cole, can you help me? And we're all going to say happy holidays. Maybe we could sing something fun. But also, guys, if you want to do Gerber's training, go back. Lisa can put that in the chat. So, all right, I'm going to unmute everybody. Or Lisa, you unmuting everybody? I can't see you anymore. Lisa Cole. Or can everybody unmute themselves? Let's see.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
We're unmuted.
Tim Griswold, you're still on mute. Come on.
Hello.
Holidays.
Happy
Holidays. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Happy holidays.
Wonderful
Happy
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
See everything.
Happy
holidays.
All
Happy holidays,
Great.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Happy
great.
holidays.
Thank
you
you
so
all
much.
for all you do.
Thank
Amy,
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You are so welcome.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Happy Festivus. I love it.
Healthy what?
Festivus.
Happy Festivus for the best of us. Yes. Good job, Cindy Ray. Exactly.
Good.
Exactly. Yes.
2021 is going to
Thank
be
you so
great.
much, everyone.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
been great.
So,
So good to meet you.
yep. Thank you, Tricia Sweeney. Forgive me for not saying thank you. And guys, we see you January 6th. I got to look at the calendar, but it's the Wednesday after the New Year. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Rock
Bye,
star.
everybody. Happy
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Amy.
everyone.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Unmuting us.